Have you ever thought about what artificial intelligence can actually do for you? I know we're all got these buzzwords going around: AI this, AI that, creation this, chat GPT, all type of stuff, right? So today's video, I've got the leading expert, Jeraud Norman, on the line with us today. He has some magic he's going to sprinkle on you guys, just like he's already sprinkled it on me. So to learn exactly how this AI stuff works, artificial intelligence is here to stay. And I don't want us, our culture, my community to be scared of this stuff. I want us to embrace it as I was scared of it until I kind of figured out a little bit how it works. And Jeraud is going to shed the light on exactly how to go into it. So it's going to actually help you in all your business dealings, especially with real estate and just creating a better workflow for yourself. So Jeraud Norman, what's going on, my brother?
My guy, Kris Haskins, man, I appreciate the hell out of you. Thank you for having me on. And thank you for letting me pour into you and into the community. So I'm doing good. Glad to be here. Seen you working from afar for a very long time. And to be in on the action and be a part of the mix is pretty cool and pretty humbling. So I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So round up, y'all come on in. We'll give you a few seconds to come in. The reason we are here is because we got some Christmas specials for you and all that stuff, but I firmly feel like if you ain't at least tapping into this AI, your ass is gonna be left behind. That's number one. Number two, number two, I have been following Jeraud around town. Like, so Jeraud is a marketing specialist, a strategist. He does business, all type of running ads and sales pages and all type of intricate marketing things with his company, right? So I just woke up one day, I'm like, Jeraud, can I just record you talking to people like when you do these presentations? And what I have learned is if the thing that you're doing isn't the thing that you want to do, TD Jakes taught me like the thing that you're doing now will lead to the thing, right? It is truly amazing. This stuff is real. I'm living proof, right? So I've been following Jeraud around with my cameras, all geeky and stuff, because y'all know I got thousands of dollars of gear that most people don't have, right? I got all the gear. I'm like, man, let me just follow you around, Jeraud. He's like, all right, come on. So he's speaking in this city. I'm boom, setting up camera work. He's speaking over there. I'm like, boom, let's go, setting up cameras and stuff, mics. And he finally the other day I was at one of his things and he's like, I'm like, Jeraud, you think you could maybe just come on my channel and tell people about this artificial intelligence stuff that you're doing?
Why not?
So that's why we're here today, y'all. I want y'all to know that I've been watching him in action and he's getting ready to bless y'all with some information that is going to hopefully change the trajectory of your business and help you to plug into AI, because most of us think that AI is this blob or this nebulous computer system that you got to be so smart to work through it. And Jeraud has actually turned it around to where it can work for you. You can tell you what to do. So, Jeraud, thank you for your time, my brother.
I appreciate you, and I appreciate you following me around town and recording. And just a quick story on how I met Kris. I think it was like 2012, 13. I used to work at the shipyard, which was in the town that we both lived in at the time. And I lost my job. I'll get into my story a little bit, and I wanted to get into real estate. And Kris was one of the first people I came across. So he's been going strong for even before then. So I got to meet him back then. He was a good person. I didn't end up joining his coaching program. I just wasn't ready for real estate at the time, but he's been doing a lot of work to help a lot of folks. And so for it to come back around full circle and to have a good friend like this guy, that's pretty awesome. So we'll go ahead and jump into this thing.
We've been around the block. Isn't it cool to know people that've been around the block? You ain't got to question them. I don't got to worry about. I know I know what he can do. Let's just roll.
Yeah. And then what you've done with the YouTube thing has been amazing too. Like there's a lot of people who do real estate, but to be able to do both things well, like you're doing, not a lot of people can do that. So go ahead and give yourself a little pat on the back there. The real OG. So
I appreciate it.
We're going to go ahead and jump into this. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask and put them in the chat. And
put questions in the chat. Yep. Put questions in the chat, y'all, for AI. And I want to know who's on the line now. Y'all put your name in here. We got Rambo with us. What up? What up, Rambo?
Rambo. Love Rambo.
Deborah. Hey, Deborah, what's going on?
Hi, Deborah. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I like your software too. This is pretty dope. All right,
Yeah.
let's jump into it. So I just hit this present button
Hit the
and
present button and we got you.
share screen. Let's do
Brand.
that. And we're
Um,
gonna go with this one. Boom. All right. So let's see. Let's start from the tippity.
yep. You live, brother.
We are live. So, how many of you guys are familiar with Iron Man? Like, if you don't watch any movies, most people know what Marvel is, right? Now, I won't be able to see both screens. So, Krista, we got any
I'll let you
feedback
know.
there?
Anybody familiar with Iron Man? We had this conversation before we started. I'm like, I don't know who the hell What is it called?
Jarvis.
Jargon?
Yeah. So,
Jargon?
in Iron Man, right? And I'm just giving you a reference to kind of try to tie this into what we're talking about. But in Iron Man has this AI he uses called Jarvis, and Jarvis can basically build all his Iron Man suits. It's like his coach, his friend, it's everything. He gets real time feedback from Jarvis. So one thing that ChatGPT and AI has put us in a position to do is to create our own version of this. So even if you weren't familiar with Jarvis, which would be hard to believe, essentially what I want to show you is why you can take AI and turn it into a coach that helps you win, right? It's going to position you to ask these better questions so you can make better decisions and in all honesty grow exponentially. And I know that sounds broad, but I'm going to tell you guys my story here in a second. So just a little bit about my background. I won't spend a lot of time on that. Kris covered some of it. Have a marketing company. It's called Jeraud Marketing. We turn strangers into customers. We do it multiple ways. Sometimes it's through ads. Sometimes it's through tech. It's just so many different things that we can do. Our whole thing is how do we make sure people are making money? We've worked in the real estate niche. We've worked with Kris on some things, and we've worked with some other people in real estate, whether it's investing or the regular realtor, residential side. But here's some of the big names that we've worked with. I'd say the biggest is definitely the U.S. Air Force. They hired us to run ads for them to do recruiting up and down the East Coast, which was pretty cool. Salvation Army, you guys know about them. And the rest of these are other big businesses. This is one of the biggest businesses in rent to own, and some of these guys in rent to own. But long story short, what we've done in the last 8 years is we've helped our clients generate well over $50 million in sales. And if I'm being honest, with the things we did for the Air Force, it's all classified, so they couldn't tell us. But I don't know how they judge how much these recruits we bring in were worth to them. But if I could be honest with you guys, I think we're well over 100 million in sales. It's just at a certain point, it's hard to get people to track, and I don't want to just be making up numbers. But we've worked with plenty of companies. So last little bit on my background, Newport News Shipbuilding. It's where they build all the aircraft carriers and submarines for the entire nation here in Newport News, Virginia, which is not too far from where I met Kris. And I used to work here. It's like the second most dangerous industry in the world. We're building aircraft carriers, submarines, real hardcore place to work. And I used to work here. And what happened was on the way to work one day, this thing showed up and hit me. And I was in the car with my son. He was 2 years old at the time. He's 14. He's taller than me right now. But I got hit by one of these coming off the highway on the way to work. And what it caused is a domino effect of me not being able to go to work because of my injuries, losing my house in foreclosure, bankruptcy, all kinds of things, right? And I was a single dad of 2 kids at the time, so I had to pivot. So this is how my story turned into me getting into marketing. I had to figure it out. And when I met Kris, this had just happened, and real estate was an option for me, but I didn't understand money the way I do now. I didn't understand financing, didn't understand that I needed coaching. So if Kris is offering some type of coaching, you guys, it would behoove you, if that's the word, to make sure that you get a coach, because coaching is everything, right? So I met Kris at this point, and I really didn't know what I didn't know. I was unclear about a lot of things. I've always had a job. So to be on my own and start a new business was challenging. And then again, losing my house and having to move, it was crazy. But it's all because I got hit by this. So then I tried to do real estate. Again, it didn't work. I got into some other businesses, and every time I got into a business, marketing kept showing up. And then one guy was like, "How about you be my marketer?" And I was like, "What makes you think I could do any marketing? Shipyard worker. I don't know anything about that." And so after the third time of hearing that, I realized that if I could always get people customers, I would never be out of business. And one of the investments I had to make to learn the skill set that I have now, which has led me to using AI, which I'm getting back to, is this was one of my cars. I had 2 cars at the time, and this was all souped up with turbo and all that other jazz. And I sold
Lord.
the car so I could get into a coaching program. What you gonna say, Chris?
I'm looking at it. Looks like it's you lowered it. You lowered the rim. I mean, it looks like it's been cut.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was pretty fast. So, I was into that street racing for whatever reason, even though I never raced. But either way, I had a decision to make. Do I want to learn this skill set? That's the only money I had. Didn't have any money coming in. I sold my car to pay for like a $3,000 coaching program to learn this skill set, and then the rest is history. And that's how I got on this path to where I am now. But along the way, we did have some issues, and a lot of those issues was clarity, getting help when I needed help, understanding that I needed coaching, actually having the money to afford coaching. So what I'm going to show you guys with AI today, had I had that back then, I'd be much further along. So before we get into how AI can coach you, I wanted to let you guys test out my AI. So we have AI in multiple places for our business. We have it where if you text us, a lot of times it'll pick up the conversation as if someone's actually there. If you give us a call and I don't answer the phone like I'm about to not do now, AI will text you back and start a conversation with you. We have AI on our website that'll talk to people and book appointments. Not to mention, you've been using AI with your Apple phone. You've been using AI with Netflix. How they decide if they're going to show you what's the best thing for you to watch, they do it by incorporating AI. So all of us have been using AI forever. We just didn't know we were using AI, and now ChatGPT gives us that opportunity to use it on a big scale. So I got people coming in right now. Yeah, got people coming in right now, missed calls. So you guys should get a text. Now I will preference you. I'm not sure how many people are on this call, but we did this at one of the events with where Kris was recording me, and we had at least 20 people come through. So we want to see if we can break the system. So I hope there's more than 20 people that call, and you all should get a text back. If you don't, that means our system can't handle more than 20 incoming calls at once. When in all honesty, most businesses are only getting one or two, maybe three at the same time. So anything in the chat there, Kris?
No questions yet. We're good.
Okay.
I don't even think people know it. Like if y'all like me, I don't even know what to ask. I'm like, shit. I would have to just. This is why I'm here. This is why I was like, it's so important to bring this information on, because my community, we have no idea if anybody's anything like me, put it in the chat. Y'all know. I don't even know what to ask AI.
Oh, well, we're going to get to that. So while you guys are doing your call thing, let's keep moving, right? So let's talk about what's actually holding us back, right? So the reason in this picture was created with AI. Oops, moved a little too forward there. But when it comes to actually what's holding you back, a lot of times what people don't understand is they really don't have business problems. They have personal problems that keep showing up in their business. And a lot of times you don't realize what those things are that are holding you back. So just by a quick show of hands, have any of you ever heard of limiting beliefs? Heard anybody talk about that? Ever
Just put a
recognize?
yes in the chat. Put a yes in the chat if anybody's heard about talking about limiting beliefs.
All right. So basically, I mean, without going all Napoleon Hill on you and subconscious mind and all that stuff, consciously, we always have in our mind consciously what we want to make happen. But subconsciously, there's things from our past, recent past or far back past that won't allow us to become that person that we want to become. And those are the things that are holding us back in our business. It just seems like it's business problems. But in order to really thrive in your business, no matter what it is, and I know a lot of you guys are in real estate here, it's overcoming those personal things and uncovering what those things are. So most people aren't stuck because they're lazy. It's because they're overthinking, they're second guessing, and they're not asking the right questions. And sometimes it's like Kris just said a second ago, you don't even know what questions to ask. Part of the reason you should have a coach. So
the thing is, Jeraud, I've been in real estate forever, now, and like I kind of know what to ask myself on a daily basis, and I know where my bottlenecks are and all that stuff. But something new, Ronald LeGrand told me many years ago, you don't know what you don't know. So if that's the case, how the hell could I even come to an AI and tell it what to do if I don't even know, so.
That's great. That's great feedback. And I think we all get stuck there because using the AI is just another tool for us. Whether, let's say that I wanted to do real estate today and I didn't even know where to start. If you're actually coaching me, then I get to ask you right away, right? But I still may not know what I need to ask. So for your coaching program, you probably already have a structure that already puts
Yeah.
us in the mindset, right?
Yeah.
And we could do the same thing with AI,
Great.
right?
That's why
So
we're here, y'all. That's why you're here.
So yeah, today again, I'm going to use the Jarvis reference. If y'all don't get it, let me know. But I think that's a reference that a lot of people would get. I'm going to show you how to build your own Jarvis. And the thing about Jarvis, if you watch the Iron Man movies that people really like, is that Tony talks to it and it talks back. So I can show you how to make your AI talk back to you so that you can get the real-time insights and everything that you need
Wow.
in order to move forward. All right. So you guys with me?
Yes, yes, yes. I see y'all. Put a like. Make sure y'all smash that like button down there.
Smash the like button. And if you're not subscribed for whatever reason, like get subscribed, and you should get on Kris's email list. He actually writes those emails himself. He doesn't actually like program. He don't even use AI to write his emails, which is crazy. He actually writes those. He spends time every morning putting those together. So get on his email list too.
Yeah. We care about the people, though. I think that's the thing about you, too, right? If you care about someone's outcome, then you take the time to do it, you know?
Exactly. But I ain't gonna lie, I'd probably be AI in my emails by now though.
That's what you're going to help me with that. All right. You help me with that.
Yeah, they'll still sound like you, but you got to know what you're doing to get there. And that's a little bit more advanced. We won't get into all that today. But so we'll keep moving. But the invisible bottlenecks that are keeping you stuck, right? Again, those are those self-limiting beliefs that you don't know that are holding you back. You know, again, it's not the lack of effort that people are putting forward in their business. It's the overthinking decisions. It's getting stuck in analysis by paralysis, right? It's feeling overwhelmed and spinning your wheels. It's avoiding the actual work that needs to get done. So for you, Kris, if you were coaching me right now, let's just say, what would be one of the main things I would need to get done that some people drag their feet on when you're coaching them?
Oh, yeah. The big thing is we got to get leads. We got to figure out how are we going to get leads. That is the top thing. Like, let's talk about leads. Number one, gotta find people that have a house to sell. In real estate, if you're talking to somebody that doesn't have a house, you are wasting. That's like a zero. It's just that it's worth nothing.
100%. 100%. So a lot of times what'll happen is people will do everything else besides go after leads, right?
They want to set up their LLC. They want to get their documents. They want to get their paperwork. I got to get my structure. I'm like, what what are we structuring? Come on.
You don't have anything yet. I got to get my website right. All these different things.
Business cards. I'm like, yeah. No.
But the crazy thing is when people do that, they're avoiding the work. So one of my mentors taught me, and I actually have him as part of my mastermind, I'll show you later, is that whenever you feel something that's pulling you away from the thing you're supposed to do, to take a step back and actually think about what that is. And if it's pulling you away, that means you need to go do the thing that it's pulling you away from, not the thing that is pulling you to. Right. So like one thing he said is like, if Kris is telling you to go do some prospecting and you're like, man, my garage is dirty, I really need to clean this up. Don't go clean the garage. Just make a note like, hey, every time I think about prospecting, I always got something else I need to do. And a lot of times it's not even super important. Right. So that's what we can get AI to help us do, because in one hand, if Kris is coaching you or somebody else is coaching you, you can ask questions, but a lot of times you may not even ask questions because you think you're asking the same question over and over again. But people, we're creatures of habit. So sometimes it takes us a little bit longer to learn and we have to keep asking the same questions. But then sometimes you're paying someone to help you and you get insecure about asking them questions. And I know because I've been there. I'll either won't ask the right questions because I don't know which ones to ask, or I know to ask the question and I don't ask it because I feel like I already know what they're going to say. Right? Which is good. It's the gift and the curse, because what if I ask it a different way and he can give me a different way to understand it? Because sometimes you need to understand the building blocks of what you're asking so that you can understand why you need to do it. If someone just says, don't kick that cat, I mean, which is crazy. Don't kick the cat for real. But, you know, versus or you're talking to a kid, don't kick the cat. Yeah, you're telling the kid not to do it. But if you actually explain to the kid why, like, hey, if you kick the cat, this is what happens to the cat. It could get injured. It might scratch you. And if it scratches you, I mean, getting scratched by a cat is freaking horrible. I'd rather get bit by a dog than scratched by a cat. You know, all these different things so you can understand why you shouldn't do the thing. And that's what coaching can help you do, right? So for me, and I'm going to tell you a quick story about how I even came up with this. So for Black Friday, Kris and I was working together, and I was working with some other folks as well. And I realized that this Black Friday, we were overwhelmed, which is not a word I usually use. And the reason why is because we had 35 retail stores that we were running Black Friday campaigns for. And Kris and a few other folks, we had another 5 people that were creators that we were working with to help them with their marketing for Black Friday. And we lost some people. Some people got sick, and it just turned into, how are we going to get all of this done? And this is when I created my own AI Mastermind, and it helped me because there was things I was overanalyzing. Even though I had coaches, I was overanalyzing, I was overthinking, and I was making bad decisions because there was so much happening at once. But by getting help from AI, it helped me to streamline my thoughts, get the clarity that I needed, and Black Friday turned out phenomenal. So that's honestly, that's how I came up with this whole thing. And this was Black Friday. And the fact that I'm even talking to people about it right now is speed, because usually if I came up with something cool like this, I might not get to it till next year. Now, Kris saying something to me about, sharing it with other folks helped out a whole bunch. And then I had my mastermind help me create the slideshow, the offers, all the things that are going along with it. So I didn't have to overthink, right? Like, it basically did everything for me. And if you don't know what questions to ask, I can even show you how to ask the question. Hey, I don't know what to ask. What should I be asking? Something as simple as that is super powerful.
That's what I like.
All right. So going back to this, you don't have business problems. You have personal challenges that are showing up in your business, right? So whether you seek therapy or not, we've all had trauma in our lives. And some of those things that have traumatized you, whether in a great way or a small way, those things are just sitting in the back of your mind and they're not being tapped. But at the same time, they control how you move, how you think, and how you interact with other people, right? So if you think about it like this, if there's a thermostat, right? Like in my office right now, it was hot as heck a second ago. I turned the thermostat down to 74. So it'll never get above 74, right? But if I wanted to go to 70, let's say if I was getting cold and I wanted to go up to 77, unless I go touch the thermostat, which is me adjusting my own beliefs, it's not going to go there. So I'm always getting either pulled down to 74 or I'm getting pulled up to 74. If it gets too cold, the thermostat kicks on. And that's how our bodies operate, right? And all that's happening again on the personal side. But then those things, again, they hold you back in business. So again, if you're overthinking, if you're second guessing yourself, just by a show of hands, how many of you people feel like you are overthinking and second guessing, or you're not taking action on things that you should be doing in order to move the needle and get to the next step? Finding busy work that's, it's cool to be busy, but if it's not moving the needle, then what are you actually doing? Are you making the money that you want to make?
I struggle with that myself too. I can put it in the chat if you struggle with that. Tony Robbins calls it resistance.
Exactly. So again, this is why I built my own mastermind. And I can be perfectly honest with you guys. I've spent well over $200,000, probably even more than that, on coaching since I've been doing this business. I'd probably say it's more than that. And what I've done is some of these guys that I've paid money to, I know exactly how they talk to me. I know exactly what they would tell me in a certain situation. And by me taking, which is what I wanted to show you guys, is taking the essence of, let's say, a Kris Haskins and his coaching, putting it into this AI. You could literally ask that AI, say, hey, Kris Haskins, what should I do in this case? You should be prospecting. All right, how do I prospect? Well, it'll give you multiple options. Out of these options, which one do you like? Oh, I like this one. All right, cool. What is the next steps on that? Like I make it give me everything. And then the only barrier to entry at that point is, am I willing to actually go and do the work? Right. But a lot of times people can't get to the work because they don't know what to do. So let's move on here. So that's why I want to introduce you guys to the AI Mastermind. Again, it's your personal coach, strategist, and accountability partner. So here's a picture of Tony Stark in one of the Iron Man movies. And this is Jarvis. He could basically say, hey, Jarvis, create this motorcycle in a 3D diagram. He just throws it on the screen. Or if he's trying to solve a problem, Jarvis can turn into his metaphysicist partner. So if we kind of turn this into business, for me as a marketer, or for you guys who are mainly in real estate, everybody's in marketing, whether they're a marketer like myself or not. So the first thing is, how do you market to get more leads and more deals, right? So if you're struggling with that, you can literally create a marketing plan inside of ChatGPT, which is the main AI that we use. And let's say that you want to run ads. It can actually help you write the ad copy. It can help you come up with the video script. It could help show you exactly what you need to do step by step on how to place the ads. Let's say that you want to do bandit signs. It can help you come up with the copy for your bandit signs and where's the best place to place them based on your area and where most of the deals are. Like anything that you guys want to figure out,
Lord,
this thing can do it, right? So I want to show you guys a live example too. And the other thing I like about making, because it's using ChatGPT as an overall, but then there's the AI Mastermind part, which I've kind of authored myself. I like this line here. It doesn't just listen, it talks back and shows you the path. So one thing that I used to do in the morning, because I get up super early, is I'll record myself and I'll go back and listen to it in a few weeks, a few months, or sometimes a few years later. So I'm getting all my thoughts out, but then those thoughts are just out and it helps me to unload my head and clear myself. But then there's no feedback on those thoughts unless I go back and listen to it at a different time. The difference now is I take my phone, I talk directly to the AI and let it know what I'm thinking, how I'm feeling, and what I got going on. And it'll help me to either one, give me positive feedback saying, hey, you're on the right path, you're growing fast, or hey, I don't like the way you're talking. You said you want to be XYZ. You say you want to have 100 doors by this time in real estate. And then for someone who has 100 doors, that's not how they think. That's not how they act. That's not how they move. And it'll give you that kind of feedback so that you know whether you're on the right path and you can ask questions and get the answers you need in order to get the clarity that you need. So before I keep going, is this resonating with anyone?
yeah, I got people raising their hands down here. Larry, yep, me, Deborah, Sam, yep, Sam B. We got people in the chat, brother.
All right, cool. So again, the AI Mastermind is simple. We're going to help you pinpoint those personal roadblocks that are slowing you down. So the one thing that's cool, because the last place that Kris came to record me at, we did this thing in person. And while we're doing it in person, because I teach you how to put the app on your phone and talk to it, everybody's kind of just whispering like this because to an extent, it's kind of personal. It's kind of personal what you want to talk to ChatGPT about if you're using it to be your coach. So I think the beauty of doing when we get to this next class is you guys are all in the comfort of your own home. You can talk to it without having to worry about everything else. And you can really get deep. If you want it to be your therapist and you don't really feel like leaving the house, we can figure out who the best therapist in the world is that you would want to work with. You pick your top 3. I could show you how to load those into a chat and you can have your own therapy sessions just by recording them and getting feedback. So
that's crazy.
It's super powerful. Also achieving exponential growth without the guesswork. I mean, that's huge. The amount that I've personally grown just off this. I mean, I grow all the time. I'm always consistently growing. And every now and then I realize I'm stagnant and then I fix it. Plus I'm already still paying for coaching, but the amount of growth that I got in that 2 to 3 week time frame when we did Black Friday, I realized that my delegation wasn't as strong as it used to be. Something one of my coaches was telling me, but then ChatGPT helped me to strengthen it. I hired some people. I was able to give them processes and systems and had ChatGPT come up with it to help me speed up the process of onboarding. And now I just feel like, man, there's so many things I've always wanted to do, but because my delegation wasn't as high as I needed it to be, and I didn't realize it, I'm able to delegate more. So we're able to make more moves. So 2025 is probably going to be our best year. We've had really good years, but no, I'm claiming it. 2025 is going to be our best year, 100%. Now, I'm just being honest with you guys. I've never done 7 figures in a year. I've gotten very close to doing 7 figures in a calendar year. And, this year we're going to do 7. We're going to do multiple 7 this year, just based off of me having this. This year is about to be crazy. All right. So I will show you guys a live. We'll go over to ChatGPT and do some stuff live and play around real quick.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's see that, Jeraud. I want to see how this stuff works.
All right, so let's finish up the slideshow part first, right?
Okay,
so
cool.
We are doing an AI Live Mastermind. It's going to be on January 4th. Kris is still hosting that with me. It's going to be from 12 to 2 p.m. And on that, we're going to go into like heavy action-based items. So the goal is you'll leave with your own AI Mastermind. The first step is for us to get the top 3 to 5 people that you would want advice from in real life, right? We'll show you how to program it so that they're not a bunch of yes men and they actually give you real-time feedback. And we're going to start making powerful changes right there on the spot, in addition to getting you a game plan. So if you're all in real estate, most of you guys need lead generation. That's for any business. We can actually have the mastermind help you with your lead generation plan based on what you have going on and what you need, because everybody's in a different place. Kris runs ads. I run ads. Some of you guys aren't ready to do that. So what's another way that we can help you? So we're going to give you step-by-step instructions on how to basically put yourself in a position where you don't have to spend tens of thousands of dollars in coaching. And even with that being said, having this is awesome, but I still have actual coaches that I pay, but everybody's not in that position. Before I sold my car, I couldn't even afford to eat. I mean, at one point, and I don't even like telling people this, because I was injured and I was losing everything, I had to even get on food stamps, which as a kid, my mom was on food stamps before, but as a grown man, that was weird. But that was the situation I was in. I mean,
oh my God.
Yeah, so I don't even know if I ever mentioned that before, but if it was just me, I wouldn't have, but I had 2 kids and I was a single dad. But with all that being said, if you want to come to the AI Mastermind, where we're going to show you how to set this up, it's $47 for general admission, $197 for VIP access. And for either one of these, if you decide to come through with us and you don't make your money back, if you don't make your money back, but if you don't get the value that you thought you would get by showing up, I'll give you your money back. I don't see how you can show up and have me walk you through this step-by-step and not have it be life-changing. So that's why I have that guarantee. Now, if you don't show up to the class and then you come to the class and you don't do anything, I'll still even give you your money back. But if that's who you are, don't even sign up, right? Like this is for people that are super serious. And if you do VIP, you get the recording from the class. We have a backstage pass where you'll be able to ask some questions. We'll do an additional time at the end of the training for the people that were in VIP to make sure that they have everything set before we get off the call. And then I'll also give you my marketing course. So we usually sell for about $400, and we've sold thousands of these courses, not to mention even given some away to some of our clients. And what happens is people usually take this course because this is what I would do for them if I was marketing for them. They take this course and make money, and then they come back and ask us to do the marketing for them in some cases, which I don't want a whole bunch more marketing clients. But that course has helped people make tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, from just using this on their own, because it's the same thing we would do for them exactly. So if you're interested, if you're interested in that, the link's right there. There's a QR code. We got testimonials on the next page. There may be a guy that you're actually familiar with that's on the next page that's talking about the impact that we have. So
you're doing okay. So I want to make sure with today, you have the AI Mastermind class. It's going to be the links in the video description below, right below y'all, and we're going to get to some more stuff here. Jeraud, can you show them? Well, are we anything else you want to talk about the class too? Because you're going to, my thing is, I want people to say, look, at least I have the same thing in real estate. So for me, you're a grown ass man, right? I coach and train people from coast to coast. You 55 years old and you still renting. I think that there is a point in time when every grown person's life that you need to have a basic understanding of how real estate works. Now, I'm not saying you need to go out there and be flipping and doing creative, but you must have just a basic understanding, and if it's going to cost you a couple of dollars to do that, why aren't we investing in ourselves to say, look, I got a basic understanding of how AI works. That was kind of the reason that I wanted to bring you on here, Jeraud, because I feel like real estate and the internet's just going towards, it's just gonna be the state of the internet, right? Like the state of the internet now is social media. I mean, that's the state, right? I just feel like as we get more advanced, the state is going to be more of dealing with artificial intelligence. Would you say, or you have more of an insight on that than I do?
100%. Like I said before, we've been using AI for years. I mean, if you're on Android, maybe not as much, and I think they even have something now. I'm new to the Apple team, but everything's Siri this, Siri that. Like I said, your Netflix, your Hulu, like there's AI is tied into, almost every aspect of our lives. And now it's just these big companies have already been able to use AI for their purposes. But there's plenty of tools. The only one I really talk about is ChatGPT, because most of the time you can get what you need out of there. it just allows us to level the playing field so that we have access to a tool like what the big companies have. And I promise you guys, like when I first learned this skill set of just marketing, if I was to build a campaign for Kris from scratch, it could take anywhere from 8 to 10 hours. But with AI, I mean, we cut that in half, if not a third sometimes. And it's really just a back and forth and making sure that the client's happy with what we put together. So yeah, AI is here. Like whether you want to go all out with it or not, if you're deciding not to use it, if you're a conspiracy theorist, and just be a conspiracy theorist and don't use it.
They're
But
not here. Those people ain't on this call here.
yeah, but if you're serious about growing personally and professionally in your business and doing more for yourself and your family, why wouldn't you use AI? Like half the stuff I have my AI do, like imagine how it costs money to hire people. Whether you get contractors off Fiverr or Upwork, this shit costs money. So when you have AI that could be your, like if someone hit me, like if Kris asked me to copyright and write all his emails, I mean, I couldn't see me charging less than $1,000 or $2,000 a month, and he may not think it's worth it because of the flow and all that stuff he has. But if we just say $1,000 and you have to write emails to do outreach and all this stuff, learning this AI skill set can help you save $1,000 a month just off that one
Yeah, I
task.
need to learn that too. That's one of the reasons I do need help with copywriting on that.
Yeah.
Oh, did you one of the other classes, Jeraud, you did like a something to where people could hear how you called into your AI, or is that something that like when they called in, or was it something that they got a text message when they called in? Has anybody in the chat let me know? Has anybody got a text message back? What should people be getting back from the phone number you gave them earlier, Jeraud?
They should have got a text back. I saw that because it was showing up on my phone and kept lighting up. Someone started actually talking to the AI. They started going back and forth saying hello, sir, and all this other stuff and all that stuff. So yeah, the whole thing was just to show you how you can incorporate AI into your business. It's just like I'd say it's like a cute trick, but the big thing is like that's next level. For most of you guys, it's getting what's good in between here, getting straightening this up, freeing yourself, getting clarity. And then after that, like I could show you how to use AI to do what I just did there when you text or when you called and make sure it's talking back. Because, for instance, if Kris has ads and bandit signs up and people call and he's not available, then a lot of times what those people do is they pick up and call the next person. They just keep calling. Right.
You got somebody available.
But if like that text, that call feature that I showed you guys earlier, if you called me or if you called Kris, because we're going to set that up for him, if you called and he didn't answer the phone, then you'll get a text back right away. Does that mean you're not going to call the next bandit sign person that's trying to sell a house? No, but it kind of stops you in your tracks and gives Kris the opportunity to try to get the sale, because the first person who usually responds gets the business most of the time. And that was the first thing I learned in real estate when I was looking to work with Kris, was that they're going to keep calling until they get somebody on the phone. So if you don't answer the phone, then you more than likely are just
done. You're done.
Right.
So let's hear it. Can we hear you talk to yours? I want to hit. This is the magic, y'all. Let's see Jeraud in action.
Let's do it.
What you had? Let's show them what your system. What did you? Y'all getting ready to be blown away when I see this dude in action.
All right. So can you guys?
Am I adding you to the stage? Am I bringing your screen?
Can you see my? Yeah, bring my screen back on stage there.
All right. Hold on a second. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So here we go. So for those who don't know, this is called ChatGPT. There's plenty of AIs. ChatGPT is probably the most developed, especially towards the public. You can actually use it for free. If you want to do a premium, it's $20 a month. I think it's worth it. But if you don't want to spend money, just start out for free. It's easy to sign up. All right. So
we got the paid version. I'm just like, I want the paid version. I want to go right to the top on this thing. I seen how you do it. I'm like, what? Here's the thing for me. Whatever this guy's doing, I'm doing. Yeah, if y'all watch my moves, I'm just following him.
All right. So this is what we can do, because basically, like all the details of the mastermind we'll do in the class, but I just want to show you how crazy this AI thing is, right? So let me ask the internet this. I'll talk to it here. Hold on. Let's see if it worked while we're on this stream. Hey, what's going on, ChatGPT? Oh, hold on a second. Allow while using this site. Yeah. Hey, what's going on, ChatGPT? I want you to pull up Kris Haskins, Kris Haskins, He is one of the top real estate mentors, has a huge YouTube channel, and he's from Virginia. So I want you to pull him up and give me some feedback on him, and then I'll start asking you questions on how we can best use that information. So that was a loose prompt. Oh, it didn't even go through. Hold on a second. Let's do that one more time. It was on T.
Hi there. Hi there. Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Awesome. Are you familiar with Kris Haskins? It's Kris Haskins. Are you familiar with him?
Yes, I'm familiar with Kris Haskins. What would you like to know?
Tell me more about him. Tell me about all his great qualities.
Kris Haskins is known for his expertise in real estate investing, particularly in wholesaling and rental properties. He's admired for his transparency, integrity, and dedication to educating others on financial freedom. He often shares practical tips and insights from his experiences, helping others achieve success in real estate.
That's awesome. That sounds just like the Kris I know. So based on you understanding who Kris Haskins is, if he was coaching me, what would the first piece of advice he would give me be as far as like getting into the real estate game?
Kris Haskins would likely advise you to start by thoroughly educating yourself about real estate investing. He emphasizes the importance of understanding the market, networking with experienced investors, and learning the basics of finding and analyzing deals. Building a strong foundation and gaining knowledge would be his first piece of advice.
That's sage advice. That's why Kris is at the top of the game. All right. So what should I do next then? If I need advice and I need to learn how to do this, what would the next step be?
Next, you might want to find a mentor or join a real estate investing group to learn from others' experiences. Start small by investing in a property that fits your budget and goals. Continually educate yourself through books, courses, and online resources, and don't be afraid to take calculated risks.
I like that. I like that. All right. Well, I'm actually talking to Kris now, and he told me that I need to work on my lead generation. So what questions do you have for me to see what's the best way for me to generate leads?
Great. To help you with lead generation, I'd ask, what methods have you tried so far? What's your target market? Are you focusing on online or offline strategies?
Wow.
What resources do you have available, like budget or team? This can help pinpoint the best approach.
All right, so let's slow it down. You asked 4 questions. Let's start off at number 1, and then once we're done with that, we'll go to the next one. So what was number 1 again?
Sure. The first question is, what methods have you tried so far for lead generation?
I went to the courthouse and was asking about some tax liens, and then I went and knocked on a few doors. I guess they call it driving for dollars, but that was a bit scary. I didn't know what to say, and kind of just knocked and ran. So does that answer your question? Does that answer your question?
Yes, that definitely answers the question. It sounds like you've tried a couple of methods like tax liens and driving for dollars. If door knocking felt uncomfortable, there are other approaches you might find easier or more effective. Would you like to discuss some of those?
I would, but let's get through the rest of your questions. What was number 2?
Sure. The second question is, who's your target market?
I actually like buying houses in the hood.
That's a clear target market. Knowing that, you can focus on strategies tailored to those areas. Ready for the third question?
Yes, sir.
Great. The third question is, are you focusing more on online or offline strategies for generating leads?
Honestly, I'm in between. I would prefer if leads came to me, so online versus me having to go and find them. But so I'm open to whatever Kris would tell me to do.
Got it. If you prefer leads coming to you, Kris might suggest focusing on building an online presence. This could involve creating a website, using social media marketing, and running online ads. Shall we move to the last question?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. The last question is, what resources do you have available, like budget or a team, to help with your lead generation efforts?
Man, I just checked my pocket. I got some shoestrings, some old bubble gum, and a few pennies and nickels I could rub together. What can I do with that?
Haha, starting small is totally fine. You can leverage free or low-cost options like networking, social media, and building relationships in the community. Over time, you can reinvest profits into bigger strategies. Start where you are.
All right, so Kris, I could keep going, but
Yeah, I'm
this is
good.
just this is just like the
Tip of the iceberg.
tip of the iceberg, right? Oh, one other thing I'll ask it. All right, so look, one thing that Kris told me I need to do, he told me that I need to run some ads in my local area to find people who are trying to sell their probate homes. Or no, not probate. What was it? People who are going into foreclosure, the short sale stuff. Yeah. So I need you to help me come up with some ad copy. I want you to write it in the style of Dave Chappelle because I want to be funny and stand out, but I want it in the tone of Matthew McConaughey.
Sure, here's a fun and unique ad copy. All right, all right, all right. Are you feeling like your house is more drama than a reality show? Don't let foreclosure be the plot twist. Give us a shout and let's turn that for sale sign into a happily ever after. Because in this story, you deserve a smooth ride, partner. Short sale, foreclosure help.
Wow.
All right.
Unbelievable.
So that's the whole time, but then if you hit the X, you can actually see the conversation here, right? So, oh, wait a second. It didn't show up there. That was the first time I did it that way. Maybe I probably need to refresh it, but I'll have all that stuff figured out. Because usually I don't even talk to it and have it talk back to me. I just usually record myself. You can't really do it on the computer here, but on the app, there's a button where you can record yourself. And then after I record myself, I send it in. It spits out all the information like this. And then if I want to hear it talk to me, I could just say, hey, read aloud. But it's different. So I usually teach people how to do it off of the phone more than here. Because
go
ahead, Kris.
No, you good. Good.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, so you could use this on the phone? I thought the only way I seen you use it was on the phone. I mean, I didn't even know you could do it on the computer.
Yeah, you could do it on a computer. I just like the phone better because what happens when most people get on the computer, everything that I just talked to the AI about, trying to type it out, it's not going to be the same flow. So one thing that we'll teach you in the AI class is there's a thing that everybody talks about it's called prompting. Prompting is basically like when we first got the internet and people were trying to use Google or Yahoo, if you asked it a question in order to get the search results, it's kind of the same way. And one thing I realized even back in the day is most people don't ask good questions when they search. That's why they always get crappy results. Yeah. So all I'm showing you how to do with the prompting is I could give you exact prompts to plug in to get a certain result, but it's not about having a verbatim script. It's really about understanding what you want to get done and talking to it, because the way you talk to it, you'll get more out of it than if you typed and texted to it, because most people aren't really good. I'm not going to say they're not strong writers, but most people don't write how they talk.
Speak right. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, but that's pretty much it. Like, you can have as many chats as you want, and I'll show you guys in that class, but this is my mastermind. And the kind of guys I got into are people that I've paid in real life for coaching. Billy Genius Marketing. He's one of the top marketers, I'd say, in the world. One of my coaches, Miha Matlievsky. Not a lot of people know about him, but he sold a company for 9 figures, and he's been coaching me on growing my business. ChatGPT knows who he was. Alex Hormozy, he's really big into marketing. And some other guys that I've actually followed really close. So the advice I get back from these guys is stuff that I know they would either say in real life or based on reading their stuff and learning from them, that's the feedback they would give me. And when I got 4 guys like that who are making tens of millions of dollars giving me feedback on the way I think and the way I'm moving and the way I act,
oh my Lord,
how could you not grow? And that's why I've had such a massive growth. Like in this, I mean, I've been growing forever, but especially in this past month. So
you're actually putting the people inside of the AI.
Yes.
Unbelievable, y'all. The man's putting the people. I've seen him do this, y'all. I don't know how he does it, but I've seen him do it. And when I saw him do it this last time, I'm like, you know what? No, now it's time. Now it's time. It's time to bring you on here, man, to see how we can help my Roundup family. So look, there's a link in the video description below. It's right in the show notes to the class. Jeraud's taking, I don't know how many man hours it's taken for you to create this stuff with your mentors, but I want to say thank you for doing that. And if you see some value in what this stuff is and you want to be ahead of the game, and I'm like, right now, Jeraud, you don't even have to be that sharp to be light years ahead of everybody else because don't nobody else know nothing about how this stuff working.
You don't, man. And I think, like, I taught my wife, I basically helped her create her own mastermind.
Mhm.
And she was like, well, I want to think for myself. And I was like, true, you want to think for yourself. And at the same time, there's so many decisions you have to make. Why not just delegate everything? The only thing that shouldn't be delegated is the time with your family. Like, I'm not delegating AI to spend time with my wife in or outside of the bedroom, you know what I'm saying? Or spending time with my kids. Like the things that you actually want to do. And that's something my coach Miha taught me. And he's in my mastermind, but he's actually one of my real coaches. Is just like, the whole reason we're doing what we're doing is so that we have the ability to choose what we want. In my company, I like doing the sales still. Eventually I'll get tired of it. And I like coming up with the strategy. Everything else I don't want to do. I don't want to talk to my clients all the time, even though they're cool people. I mean, I talk to Kris all the time, but aside from him, I don't want to talk to everybody all the time. Just being honest.
I appreciate it.
Partly because I'm an introvert. I'm an introvert that knows how to be extroverted. So I like to have my alone time. I like to have time with my family. And AI allows me to delegate everything else, whether it's responding to an email, writing up, like if you guys are making offers, yeah, you have a contract that Kris might have gave you. But if you might need to write an email for the offer to send over the offer, you can say, hey, here's what I got. You can load up a PDF. Here's the offer. Write me an email in this style and tone. And it can do it for you without you having to spend the time to actually do it. I bought a new car and I bought all the warranties, and they gave me the warranty sheet. And I'm like, I can't, I don't feel like reading this thing. I loaded it up in the ChatGPT. And then I found out that one of the things that I didn't think was covered because ChatGPT read it and uncovered it for me. So I just saved $600 on my tire because I would have had to buy it straight up had I not realized I had the coverage. So
Sweet.
I let AI do everything for me.
I've seen you in action, man. I've watched you do this. So Roundup, I wanted to kind of bring this to you. This is like a little extra Christmas bonus for you. Jeraud has agreed to do a class for you on this stuff. It's going to take a little time. It's going to take a little bit of rewiring, but it's not scary. You know, I had to change the way I look at AI and kind of open my arms and say welcome as opposed to nah. I don't want to. At least say maybe. You know, that's what I was thinking. Like, look, maybe let me just see what's into this thing.
Well,
honestly,
one thing real quick, I just wanted to go through the comments and read the questions if you don't mind.
Go ahead. I didn't see it in there. Go ahead.
So
I didn't see any
Rambo
questions.
says, yeah, Rambo said, when and where do you have your meetups? Is this for Kris or for me?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, yeah, I did see that one. Sorry about that.
Deborah, I appreciate you. Greetings, Howard. I just want to build an AI to improve me getting financing. Oh.
He wants to build an AI. Yep.
That can help you.
I know the way the AI will build step-by-step methodology of getting major funding.
You could do that inside of here. You could do this inside of here. I mean, I don't know who the best guy for getting funding is, but like Warren Buffett's
he knows.
Mine.
He would know. Kenny would know. Yeah, I'm sure he would know. He's gonna know. Obviously, he's looked up people that are raising money.
Yeah, so you can program all those people into ChatGPT and basically have a process. So when it comes to ChatGPT, it doesn't take long to program it, but that's the longest part is program it. Once you have it programmed, you can put 1 or 2 lines in there and it'll give you what you need. Like for instance, with my retail clients, we work with like over 50 of them. And if I need a text campaign, I've programmed that thing so good. I just say, hey, Joe from Prime Home Furnishings needs this text. And they're like, all right, cool. Blue, 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 blue. And then I use it and 9 times out of 10, it works. If I don't like it, I could redo it. CJ says limit and produce are prevalent in many of our communities, 100%. Good reference for Jarvis. I appreciate that. I came up with that last second because Kris kept pushing me. DeAndre Holland, I absolutely love this. You're so right about the limiting beliefs. How long did it take you to learn it? To learn the mastermind part? If you're talking about the mastermind part, I kind of stumbled across it. So my coach who sold his business for 9 figures, Miha, he was the one that got me using the app and talking to it instead of texting it. And once I started doing that, I started seeing better results. And then I was like, I trust Miha. He's actually one of my friends. I don't have many friends. But when I first started coaching with him, he would ask me questions and it wasn't like I was intentionally holding back, but I just wouldn't give him everything. And he was just patient enough to dig and pull it out of me. But it's like, maybe it was fear of being judged. Who knows what it was? But now when I do this thing with my mastermind, I tell it everything. I mean,
Mhm.
everything. And then it's just like, oh, well, I like this. I don't like this. I don't like that. And it's still stuff that I probably wouldn't even I mean, I share anything with Miha now, but it didn't always start off that way. You
Mhm.
know, I think, thank you, Howard. Stan said you got the text back. LA Wilder, is this only a verbal chat or can you go back and forth and read the transcript? Yeah, you can. So the way I showed you is so you can have the thing talk directly to you. But I don't know if I could show you on my phone. Let me see real quick. Chat GBT, where is it? So on your phone here, there's that microphone button over here, oh, right there. That little microphone button. If you press that, you can talk to it like a voice recorder, and then and then when you're done, it'll just spit out everything versus reading it back to you.
Sweet.
So yeah. So can I use this to find a distress con?
Distressed commercial real estate.
Yes.
So we would put somebody in there like a Robert Allen or somebody. So the mastermind would be what other investor is actually doing whatever that they want to do. You're creating that personality inside.
Exactly.
That's
And one,
crazy.
my last tip would be like, whether you come to the class or not, I think you should come through. And like I said, if you don't think it was worth your money, I'll give it back. That's easy. But one thing that we're teaching now too is like for my marketing, I have a certain mastermind just for marketing. I got a certain mastermind just for finances. I'm actually was talking to my wife the other day. It's like, what if we got the best child psychologist? Because my daughter's 2 and my son's 14. So we took a break and now we're back. And it's totally different. Maybe because she's a girl, maybe it's a different time. But there's certain things in her 2s that I'm trying to learn how to deal with. What's the best way to respond so I don't put limiting beliefs inside of her?
Mm-hmm.
So how do I get better at that? So I'm actually about to make a mastermind where it's just literally child specialists that understand it. And I don't like everybody's teaching, so I got to do a little research. But ChatGPT is going to do all the research that I'm gonna pick. And then when she's doing something, instead of jumping into action, I'm like, oh, this is what she just did. What's the best way to respond?
Mm.
And then so you can
Get
have
the research.
Yeah, you got to do the research. So
Okay, class. So we look forward to seeing you on January 4th. I will be there. I'm hanging out with Jeraud. I want to know this stuff. I know this is the future, so this is what we're doing. I asked him to come here. And you can build your own mastermind inside of your own chat GPT. And it will help you guide you and do what you can ask questions and all this stuff. I got my people I want to put in there, Gerard. You can help me do, man. We're going to do some of that live too, right? You're going to help people set up their own masterminds too?
Yeah. So that's going to be the whole goal. So imagine when we did this, instead of kind of explaining what it is, we're literally just going to go straight into action. There'll probably be 1 or 2 slides just helping you guys reaffirm what we're doing. But it's literally step here. Who do you want in your mastermind? All right, step 2, I'll put a prompt on the screen. This is what you say, and you could say it in a roundabout way. This is how you say what you need to say to get these people in your mastermind. And the important part of that is you don't want a bunch of yes men. I can get Kris to be part of my mastermind, and ChatGPT might make him a yes man and just agree with everything I'm doing. There's a way to talk to it to make sure that it understands that you want constructive feedback. And I like to say, if I'm not doing the right thing, kick me in the ass and tell me I'm doing something wrong. Don't just let me keep rolling. So yeah, it's going to be actionable items. And then after that, we can help you build a marketing plan if that's what everybody wants to do. But once you're done, man, during class, once you do step 1 and step 2, you're going to be, because it's going to be on Zoom. You're going to mute yourself and you're like, oh my gosh, this is effing crazy.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
At the very least, do yourself a favor, click the link, and at least go watch the testimonials. Yeah. If you watch the testimonials and you still don't want to come through, hey, perfectly fine. But I think if you watch those testimonials, you'll see the breakthrough people are having. And we only spent like 30 minutes to an hour with them. And for this class, we got 2 hours set aside. And for VIP, we'll do another hour after that, 2 hours.
Okay, class. It's good to talk to y'all. This is a Christmas special only. Goes away and Christmas time. We'll see you. Don't be scared of AI no more, man. Let's see what it can do for you. Jeraud, thank you for your time. Y'all hit that button, subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.
Peace.